bounce in oil, which, as you know, I'm not surprised because we're sitting on that trend line. Let me get that trend line real quick. Right here, we're sitting on this trend line. I don't think it's going to hold. I really think this beautiful arch is going to come back down and test 73, and then we take that out. We can test 68 on way to 65, 65. Remember, this has been so long in coming, it's ridiculous. So what do I mean by that? I said when we hit that 130, right? The next price target is 160 unless we break 93 on a monthly. Can you see this? You can't see it because it's on a daily, but 93 was the monthly. We did. So once we finally broke this trend line, I was like, oh man. And then we finally broke back in July of 2022. I'm like, okay, well, if we're going to get back below this blue line, the next level of solid monthly support is 65, 65. I've also shown you in that chart that I do here. Let me just show you. This one I've been showing forever, right? This is the monthly. This is actually what got me into that 130 call, right? I said, if we can get and stay above, this is very important. I love monthly. It shows direction better as far as I'm concerned from all the noise. There it is. All right. So my baseline bet was, here's this massive trend line, right, from the 2008 high. And here was monthly. It happened to be 65, 65. You can't see it because there's a red arrow on it. But trust me, it's 65, 65, thereabouts. I said, if we can get above 65, 65 on a monthly, then this will double. This move from here to here will double. And from 65, it'll double. And it literally went 65 to 130. So if we don't hold 93, then we're going to come right back down to 65, 65. And we are in process. I got to get rid of that little red line. Anyway, the point is, we're still in this churn lower. It started out with intervention, obviously, with, election risk. They, SPR releases made sure that oil price stayed suppressed and the like. Obviously, this didn't care about the dollar. It went up while the dollar was going up. And it didn't care about the dollar going down. It still went down. So it had nothing to do with that. But the point is, whether you're supply or demand side, you got great arguments. Really, you can make phenomenal arguments around supply and demand. That's not mine. It was absolutely oil as the inflation hedge, right? And all of my intermarket stuff said, we're going higher, we're going higher, we're going higher, period, end of point. So now we're going lower, but slowly. It's taking forever since July. And I think we're going to head down into that area. So that's basically the main gist of the matter. Oil is just doing its chop sideways, but I showed you my big picture. I think it's going to go and hit that 65, 65, which is also manifest right here. Okay, here it's 65, 63, but it's harder to remember for me. All right, so what do we get? We got oil and gas popping up. Again, see, but that's not a surprise, right? So I said it would not surprise me at all. Gap fill here, we overshot, in fact, and then we had a little bounce. We're doing exactly that. I don't know what the ghost print is about, but the damage is still done on a weekly. We've broken the 10. Remember that tag? I knew that was going to happen. All right, so this little magenta happens to be the 100 week. I also made this trend line. Ooh, 10 o'clock. Trend line. So it literally tagged both and bounced. Just like XLE, this was gap fill. I said it wouldn't surprise me if we bounced, and we did. All right. Oh, the short stuff on XLE. Oh, that's painful. I'm thinking it's going to stay below this 88. So we definitely had the bounce at the gap fill right back into 88. That would be, if we get above that, we're going to hit our heads on that 90-60, which is right about the 21, 88.79. No, that's too high. That's way too high. Stop. I'd say staying below 88, 87.68 is already a nice level. We tagged the 21, we bounced back in. We tagged the 100-day, we bounced back up. Okay, let's see. We tagged, we're getting right back inside 67.85. It needs to stay below 70. This is literally the apex, right? So we had this nice bearish engulfing, and we had a breakdown below all that stuff. So what's the high of this week? 69.87. And you can see this, right? 69.84. Same difference. Needs to stay below 70.